good evening. How is everybody doing today? I hope everybody is well. I just warning you ahead of time, so if I have some gas, just had a delicious spaghetti dinner that the ladies made, and it was awesome. Garlic bread, very, very good. So, yeah, that was, and then Hella's having a little bit more of meatballs and a little bit of leftover sausage. So she's working on that. All right. So welcome everyone. I hope you guys have had a good day. And but anyhow, oh man, I'm just I'm like trying to get going, trying to get motivated here. So anyhow, before we jump into anything, I would like to. I gotta actually check something while we're doing this part. Let me just check this real quick. I have no idea, so I have to look. I got to see if I'm going to be happy or if I'm going to be sad about this. So let's see. Oh, yeah, they lost. Yeah, that wasn't good. All right. How are you a 13-point favorite and you lose the game? But oh well, that happens. So anyway, can't win them all, I guess. Family friendly oriented channel. I want to remind everybody of that. Please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you can't abide by those very simple, easy rules, then those awesome people that are lit up in blue will boot you out of here. All right, so let's. Excuse me. There's the first bit of indigestion. So anyway, let's be decent and have a good stream, and we will go from there. Again, yeah. How about them Cardinals? They're not. Are they the Cardinals anymore? Oh yeah, they're Arizona. They're not used to be St. Louis Cardinals. Now they're the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, just I lose track when they. But anyhow, now I've had a few of the members come in, and we've had a very nice weekend and hanging out. And it's funny. I wanted to address this because it's like, um, people. Somebody had said, "Is what is it, a get together weekend?" And I'm like, no, they're not. My members are not limited to coming down just on a weekend. That we're working on projects. Like we worked on no projects the last 2 days. There was no projects worked on. We hung out. We enjoyed each other's company. And no, stop. That's it now. There's no more. That's it. No, stop. So it was it was a fun weekend. We had a good time just relaxing. Excuse me. I said no. Thank you for burping in my face. Uh, she has indigestion as well. But anyhow, yeah, she's a trip, that dog. But yeah, I said anytime my members want to come down and hang out for a few days or whatever they want to do, they're more than welcome to. There is no, oh, it's only this one weekend a month that we get together and that's it. So, I'm like, yeah, anytime, come on down. As you should have, because all work and no play is a real drag. Of course, Carol. I mean, you got to have time just to enjoy, just enjoy things as well. So, like I say, you can't, it can't be all work. Well, and even when we do, guys, when we have a work weekend, it's not like it's all work. It's not. It's, we get the work done that we want to get done, but we also enjoy each other's company. We're laughing, we're joking the whole time, and we're just having a good time. So, but all right. Yeah, we had the wood stove fired up out there in the pavilion, and the ladies cooked right off the wood stove today. So really good job, really good job. Like I said, and like I said, that food definitely hit the spot. So prep some digestive meds. No, I mean, I literally ate within inside of a 10-minute window. I had like 10 minutes to eat something, so I had to I felt like I was back in basic training, just trying to, you know. Was it cold in West Virginia? Well, I will put it this way: everybody else was bundled up. I wasn't. So, but some of the ladies are originally from Florida, so they're cold. But it's in the 50s, but it doesn't. I don't feel the 50s are not cold. So, but all right. So let's go on. Let's go into topic a little. We're at 264 in the chat. We're at 96 thumbs up. Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope that we hold off on that part. Well, I went earlier, so I should be okay. As far as that, I won't have to run out again. And I do apologize for the man child that came in and flipped over my because I couldn't figure it out, and then he told me afterwards what he did, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." But yeah, so anyway, so we're what are we at 270 in the chat, 107 thumbs up. So again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I thank you for that. Also, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So again, I appreciate it for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. All right, so let's get into this topic. Yes, I did find out about the upside down boxes. Dave told me afterwards that he had come in and flipped because I'm like, how did they get flipped over? Yeah, he came in and told me afterwards. So, Southern Homestead said, ready for colder weather. As ready as we can be. I mean, I'll be continue. I got to work on this wood. That's going to be a lot of work just cutting all that up alone. And but yeah, we'll be in pretty good shape. Yeah, it was my mini me. I know. Well, even though Dave is taller, yeah, but we look like we could be brothers. There's no doubt about that. So, but anyhow, JJ, you want to take care of Tina May for me, please? And thank you ahead of time. Appreciate that, JJ. If you would take care of that, please. So anyway, topic. Let's get into topic. They just approved. They just approved a new package to go over. These aid packages just don't stop. First of all, which drives me absolutely out of my mind that we just giving them more and more and more money. But we're giving them some new missiles that we're sending over there that are longer range. That if Ukraine uses them, it can hit well into Russia. And to me, I just see that they're poking that bear. They just keep poking that bear, and it's a game that's being played, and it's like how far are we going to push them, and how far are we going to poke them until they come back and do something about it, because it's our weapons. It's our weapons. It's NATO weapons that's killing Russian soldiers, and at some point I think they're going to say enough is enough. Yeah, 190-mile range. Yep. But again, that could hit deep into Russia, and I don't think that Russia would appreciate that very much. Okay, I don't think that they. I mean, I've heard some things. I've had some contact, and people are telling me that there are, Russian subs on the east and the west coast, uh, you know, with nuclear weapons. But we do the same thing. We have our subs all over the place, with nuclear capabilities as well. So that's something that goes on all the time. So they're just putting themselves in. Yeah, don't forget the dragon might get involved in provoking as well. Well, here's what I hate to see that this is a possibility that could happen. But if Russia has had enough and they strike back, okay, I think what you will see is if we get involved in a conflict with Russia, I think what you'll end up seeing, you'll see you'll see China go in and take Taiwan at that point, because we'd have too many irons in the fire, and it would be much more difficult to do what we need to do in that type of situation. How that would all work out, I don't know. Yeah, that sub thing's been going on for decades. Exactly, Morning Light. Yeah, it's a chess game. Exactly, Angela. It's a big game, but with the weak leadership that we have in Washington right now, I just I don't think it's a good time to be doing what they're doing. I think there's way more better and diplomatic ways to do things. Why? And I'll ask this question a million times. Why are we arming Ukraine? Why are we paying for this war? Basically, but billions of dollars has gone over to Ukraine. In aid, in military hardware, all those type of stuff. And why? Right? Ukraine is not part of NATO. There's been rumored, obviously, that there's a lot of things going on. Uh, you know, yeah, Biden's playing checkers while they're playing chess. Yeah, no kidding. You know, it's amazing to me that these things are going on. Because I'll tell you, if we had somebody else in the White House, I don't believe these things would be going on. I don't think there was nothing going on, right? And now all of a sudden we're like on edge with China. We're on edge with Russia. The situation with North Korea deteriorated. Nobody talks about, and I want you guys to remember this, okay? And I want you to really think about this. When Trump went over, crossed over the demilitarized zone in North Korea, met with Kim Jong Un there. Uh, was Trump surrounded by bodyguards? If somebody refresh my memory on it, because I already know the answer. But was Trump surrounded by bodyguards, or was Kim Jong surrounded by bodyguards? Right? Did he have a whole bunch of people? Trump went over across there. I mean, we had American troops right there, and we had security right there. Okay, don't get me wrong, but they were not all around him when he was going over and doing that. He was over there, and you see the pictures. There's him and they're shaking hands, and it de-escalated things. So Trump was de-escalating things. I'm sorry if you don't like Trump or whatever. I don't really give a crap, but the facts are the facts. And also the facts are that during his tenure, we didn't get into any new wars. We weren't on the brink of any new wars under his leadership. Just putting that out there, and you know, Trump told him he knows where his house is. Oh, I'm sure, and that's the thing. Yeah, first president to ever do that. Exactly. So, listen, and I will be the first to admit, guys. I mean, some of you are going to be on here going, "Oh my God," but Trump's an egomaniac. He's this, he's that. Yeah, okay, he might be all those things, but he was also somebody that the world didn't want to screw around with. They weren't playing games in that type of thing with Trump, because Trump was considered a loose cannon. And oh my God, he made out mean tweets. Ah, how sad. I don't care. I don't care about his tweets. I don't care about none of that stuff. I want you guys to think about something else too. Now, there are coincidences of things that happen, right? There are coincidences of things that happen. And it's amazing in an election year, while under Trump, everything had been going gangbusters and the economy was booming. Unemployment in the black and the Hispanic communities was very, very low under Trump. Amazing how that works, for somebody who's a racist and a misogynist and this horrible things that if you listen to the mainstream news media we're talking about with him, the economy was going great. And then all of a sudden this thing happens in this election year, and we did lockdowns, and yeah, and gas was cheap. Exactly. We did lockdowns. We were oil independent as well. And so the economy starts getting worse now because of the fact that they did all these lockdowns and closed up all these businesses and all this type of stuff. And it made it look bad going into the election, right? So now we got who we got running things, which is absolutely frightening and scary to even think about. But, whatever you want to say about him, whatever you dislike, whatever, I honestly don't care. He was a good leader for this country. Now, was he, yeah, and Trump didn't find cocaine in the East Wing. Exactly. Exactly. It's amazing, how they can pinpoint and figure out everybody that was involved with a certain date to be able to persecute them years later. And I didn't say prosecute, I said persecute. So let's just be clear, okay? Years later, but they can't find out with all their cameras and everything who lost the cocaine in the White House. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. That's just me. I mean, call me a skeptic, you know, call me a non-believer, I guess. that, oh, oops, we don't know who did it. They know darn well who did it. I shouldn't say that because I would, but it wouldn't surprise me. Let me rephrase that. It would not surprise me if they knew darn well who did that. So, but anyway, yes, allegedly, right, exactly, yep. But a lot of crap going on now. We're on the brink of going to war with Russia. We're on the brink of going to war with China, with weak leadership in charge, and just as weak as Biden is, y'all better pray that nothing happens to him. For those of you that pray before the election, because otherwise we're stuck with Harris. And I want you to think about that because that's frightening to me more so. Yeah, with a woke military, yeah, with all that stuff. I think you're seeing a lot of people doing their time and getting out of the military just because of the nonsense that's being pushed on them. Uh, you know, so it's just. I'll give you an example of something that I heard. I'm not going to give away the source of this, but there was a company, all right, and they were getting their veils, and they did not score well. This company did not score well because they were not using the people were not giving, hey, Village Homestead, let's get 350 thumbs up or pause up. There you go, there we go, that would be a cool thing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the donation as well. So they didn't score very well in one section of their avails, okay, because the people that were working for the company were not using this. I mean, this is ridiculous, okay. They were not using their preferred pronouns. That's how crazy things are now, guys, just so you know. That's how crazy things are, that these companies are like, well, we got to make sure we're very inclusive and everybody gets to be what they want to be. Why am I feeding into a delusion? And this is an example. All right. Somebody who thinks that they're a cat, right? School age kids, that they're catering to this behavior in school. Uh, if you think you're a cat, you need some mental help. Okay. I'm sorry if that makes you upset. No, actually, I'm not, because I don't care if you're upset or not. That's your problem. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. But what is this nonsense that we have to feed into the delusions, of all these different titles? I mean, like, honestly, back in the day, you had straight people, you had gay people, and you had some bisexual people in there as well. That was it. That's all we had. Okay. And now all of a sudden, they can be this, they can be that, they can be the other thing. And everybody's feeding into this. You know, what are your pronouns? That it's insanity. It is insanity. And like I said, you want to be delusional and do what you want to do, go right ahead. But I don't feel that I have to feed into your delusion to make you feel comfortable. That's just my take on it. I'm not telling you what you guys should do. You can do whatever you want to do. So we got 408 in the chat already. Excuse me. We're at 168 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, let's do a early one just for fun here. Let's go for 400 because I think we could get 400 thumbs up today. I don't think that that would be a problem. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so. Also, and again, I promise you, if we hit 400 thumbs up, I will shut up and not ask for another thumbs up. So everybody that's in here, if you guys all hit that, that'll be pretty close to the goal of 400, and then I will not ask again for the rest of the stream. So I thank you for that ahead of time. Also, again, it really does make a big difference with the algorithm, so I do appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Hey, full of hope. Sorry, I didn't catch live often here in Ireland, but I do catch replays. Glad to be here tonight, 1:20 a.m. Wow. Well, I am very happy, dear, that you are awake with us. Thank you for staying up late, and I do appreciate that. I know over in Ireland and in the UK and all that, it is. much later over there for you guys. So I do appreciate you staying up and watching the streams. Really, that's very cool. That's very cool, and thank you for the donation as well. So yeah, it's the let's shut Ed up. There you go. Angela's saying let's hit the 400 thumbs up. Uh, but yeah, full of hope has been a long time supporter. Very appreciative of that as well. A lot of you guys. I mean, I see so many familiar faces, I guess, if you want to call it that, with the names in here on a regular basis, and that's pretty cool. So that's very cool. But okay, going back to this again, you watch what's going on right now. It should scare the crap out of you. It really should. I mean, uh, our military is not where, in my opinion, strictly my opinion, I don't think our military is where it needs to be. Yeah, we got a lot of awesome toys. Excuse me, and I'll be the first to admit that we got a ton of really cool toys. But at the same time, you look at the intel that's been going on. All right, I mean, let's go back. Let's go back to Afghanistan for intel. Let's talk about that for a moment. So, we're announcing, first of all, we're announcing when we're departing, right? The country. So that was, you don't do that. You don't say, "Hey, we're all going to be out of here by XYZ date," and then you're scrambling at the last minute to get your people out of there. You don't do that. Number one, you don't leave the amount of equipment behind that we left behind over there for the enemy to use. Number two, number three, the bombing. If you remember at the airport, they killed a bunch of Marines and a whole lot of civilians. Uh, we decided, okay, it was this guy. This was the guy that was the one that was the mastermind, right? Remember that? And so what did we do? We dropped a bomb on him and killed him and a whole bunch of other people and his family. Hey, Asif, in medical school, I had a patient that believed she was Mother Nature. Wow. Wow. Yeah, was that in a psychiatric hospital, Asif? Probably not, because they've emptied those out too. Yeah, and we'll talk about that too, and we'll talk about the stability of people in a moment here as well. But thank you very much for the donation, Asif. I do appreciate that as well. But yeah, it is amazing what's going on these days. But so anyway, so we dropped the bomb on him and we killed him and a whole bunch of his family members, including children and women. And then all of a sudden, it was announced, "Whoops, sorry, wasn't the guy." Right? Did that bring him back? Did that stop them people from all being dead? Right? That's bad intel. So I when I see stuff like that, I say, man, our intel is not as reliable as people may think that it is. And how do you make up for that? How do you make up for that? Right? Sorry, sorry about that. Our bad. You know. And people wonder why. Yeah, collateral damage, exactly. People wonder why we are so hated around the world. Absolutely crazy. Governor Hochul is now changing her tune on immigration. Imagine that. Imagine that they're realizing when they're getting all these people shipped in New York City that it's not so wonderful anymore of all these people coming across the border. Yeah, yep. Don't forget Ruby Ridge, Lavoy, Finchon. Oh yeah, absolutely. Those are other situations that happen. I mean, it happens all the time. Now, Randy Weaver from Ruby Ridge ended up getting, what was it, like a $7 or $8 million settlement from the government. That really people don't hear about that a lot. But is his wife still dead? I think his one son killed as well, and they killed the dog on top of it. So uh, absolute craziness. It's not going to change. It's going to continue to happen. But we have to really look at. I mean, strong leadership makes a big difference. Weak leadership also makes a big difference. Yeah, Larry was talking about 10,000 came in one day, and that's the ones that they knew were coming. Larry, that's not the ones that got through. That got through without anybody knowing. So they got they're going right through the razor wire. Yeah, it's insanity. So Dallas mayor switched from Democrat to Republican. I think, oh, that was 10,000 only at one crossing, Asif is saying. Yep. But yeah, Waco's another situation. So let's talk about the Waco situation. They were monitoring David Koresh for quite a while. And they knew, and I want you to think about this. They knew that David Koresh, what I talked about before, right? Routine. We're all very routine oriented. We may not realize it, but we have a tendency to follow a routine because we're comfortable with our routines and it makes us feel whatever. So David Koresh would go out and he would run with two of his members, and they would run, on the road. Now, could the military, the FBI, the CIA, all these people, the ATF, could they have stopped them, overwhelmed them? And if there had been a firefight, then the three of them would have got killed, right? Koresh would have been killed, and the other two guys. That's the leadership. You want to take out the leader, okay? But no, that's not what they did. They had to put on the big show, attack the compound, and they got their butts handed to them. They got embarrassed, right? The ATF, they all got embarrassed. And then, we all know the results of what finally happened, regardless of what is told as the official story, right? The bottom line is all those children were killed one way or the other. Hey, full of hope. Americans are being annihilated every day with fentanyl. It's even in MJ, 500 per day, and no one says a thing. And that's the other thing too. The drug epidemic. Thank you again for the donation, and thank you again for the statement. The drug epidemic is out of control, absolutely out of control, and we're losing so many young people for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Now, again, I'm going to be the first to say nobody forced a lot of these people to use the fentanyl or whatever the case, what they were doing. But, I don't think all of them were intentional. Nobody said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to OD on fentanyl today. Let's go. Let's go do that. Nobody's doing that. So, but I can guarantee you this. Okie just put MJ as marijuana. I can guarantee you this. Nobody's overdosing on marijuana. Can't happen. Not going to happen. Never been one OD on marijuana. So, but but when these kids are out trying this, that, the other thing, I have a friend of mine, a lady he was seeing. The daughter had turned 21 and she was out for the night partying with her friends. Uh, had too much alcohol. Went back to the friend's house. Was sleeping on the couch. Because she was hammered. Ended up dying in her sleep. So I think she probably threw up and choked on her own vomit. And it happens. It happens. Okay. And now this young lady is gone. And how do you think that affects the father and the mother of that child? Yes, nobody ODs on marijuana unless it's laced with something. Exactly, Okie Forge. And I'm not saying marijuana is a wonderful, great thing, because, I mean, are there things that it's beneficial for? Yes. And marijuana affects everybody a little bit differently. And I've told you guys, I mean, I can't really do it because I get nothing done if I get stoned. So I have to stay away from it. I liked it. Still, I'm not against it. To each their own. But again, I've never seen one person yet get all stoned on marijuana, go out and decide, hey, I'm going to shoot up the town or rob the liquor store. If anything, they're stopping in at Taco Bell and McDonald's and Burger King, getting themselves something to eat, and then they're going to go home and they're going to take a nap. That's what happens when you're on marijuana. So, uh, you know, but unfortunately, the other things are making way too much of an impact and hurting way too many kids. And we're losing, like I said, we're losing a whole generation. So, but there was a time when being stoned was my normal state. Oh, I smoked plenty of weed too, Okie Forge. I'm not sitting here trying to pretend I'm pompous and never did this or never did that. I will put it like this: the only things, and this is all back in the day. Okay, this is not the newer stuff that's come out. Pretty much the only thing I didn't do, I never did heroin. I never did crack cocaine. Um, I think that was pretty much about it. That's the only things I didn't do back in the day. But a couple of the things that I did one time. I will tell you honestly, I did acid one time. I didn't like it. I didn't want to do it again. I did meth one time. Okay, didn't like it. Was like, man, I don't like this. I didn't like being up for a full day. It was not a whole really good time for me. So I just that's you have to make choices what you like or what you don't like. I know some people, they took acid all the time and they loved it. Well, good for them. Yeah, shrooms are better. Yeah, I hear you. I did shrooms one time too. So a lot of the things that like that I did like one time. I did smoke a lot of pot though. I will admit that. But it is what it is. It really truly is what it is. But unfortunately, there's so many things out there that people are doing now. I never honestly, I didn't, the whole heroin thing, I never got it. I never even did back when I was a kid. I'm like, you see what it does? Why, what makes you think, hey, this is a great idea. I think I'll try this. I don't get that. I really, truly don't. So Heineken Silver is my drug. Nothing wrong with that. I don't mind having a couple beers either. Yeah, Asif is saying everything is laced with fentanyl. Yeah, and I don't get that either, to be honest with you. I never could understand why would you want to kill off your customer base. That doesn't make any sense to me. How many can say they never did drugs and have no tats? Village Homestead says me, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like my tattoos. I've had tattoos for a long time. I've had them since I was 19 and in the army. Um, how about LSD? Okay, I did that one time, but not on purpose. I'll be honest with you. Somebody laced a joint and didn't tell me. That was an interesting day. I will tell you that as well. Not something I would want to ever do again. But yeah, somebody, and again, that's the other thing. The people that you're hanging out with and doing the different things with, uh, you know, how much do you trust them? And this guy, I'll tell you what, I never partied with him again. Never partied with him again because I didn't trust him after that, obviously. So, but yeah, it wasn't that was an interesting day. I can honestly tell you that. All right, we're at 390 in the thumbs up or chat or 390 watching. We're at 237 on the thumbs up. So the goal is 400. So we're what 163 away. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much ahead of time. I do appreciate that. Again, it really does make a big difference with the algorithm. So I appreciate that as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon. Um, Black Sheep says, I got shamed for never smoking weed as a black guy. Really? I find that silly that they would do that. That's sorry that you had to deal with that. That's just stupid. See, I never, like, for me, once I stopped doing all the silly stuff, if somebody said, hey, you want, I'd be like, no, thanks. And that was it. Nobody's going to shame me into anything. So, but like I said again, I'm not judging anybody. Who am I to judge anybody? I don't. I just, I look at different things and I go, why would you ever do that when like crack? I mean, the stories of crack. I had no desire to try that. Didn't want to try it. You know, I know people that have. And they did it a couple times and then they stopped. But yeah, I'm going to go back again. I'm going to tell you something, guys, and I want you to remember this: people, places, and things. All right, the people that you're hanging out with, the things that you're doing, and the places that you are. If you're hanging out with the wrong type of people, doing the wrong type of things in the wrong kind of places, the chances of getting jammed up in some way, shape, or form are a lot higher than if you're hanging out with the right kind of people, doing the right kind of things in the right kind of places. So it's always about choices. I will tell you that for a second. Before my next colonoscopy, I'm getting a tramp that says exit only. Oh my God, that's funny. That's actually very funny. Would that be from Experience Village Homestead? No, dude, I'm teasing you. I'm teasing you. See, that's if I saw that and it said exit only, I would say, how do you know? How do you know? Right? Do you have experience? So just teasing, just teasing. But anyway, we are. I don't know why our country right now is beating that war drum as hard as they are. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. Um, you know, and it looks like that was bad. Well, I know, but I couldn't help it. When that opportunity presents itself, Malachi's corner, you have to kind of grab it. So why they want war so bad? I realize that war for the industrial military complex is a moneymaker, and I get that. It's not their children dying; it's our children that'll die. Okay, and I get that too. I just, you know, I would never want my daughter to go in the military. Eddie couldn't anyway because of his autism, but I would not want Heather to go in. No way, no how. Nope. Not for the stuff that they do, not that the way that they act nowadays. The respect, a lot of times with that is gone. It's gone now. So, but it just, I'm proud to say that I'm ex-military. I all I ever wanted to do as a child was be a soldier. That's all I ever wanted. So that's why I went right in my senior year. I signed up in my senior year of high school. So, and I only wanted to be in the army. That's all I ever wanted. So, Okie Ford says I wouldn't want any of my grandkids to join today's military. No, because we're not what we were before. We're really not what we were before. But these when you look at these wars and these conflicts, and they drag out and they drag on and on and on, and people are, well, why? Because it's more money. If we go in, let's be honest, right? Um, if I went into the military in 1984, Brad, hey Asif, if we play the war drums off key, it could be deadly. Absolutely, absolutely, and I agree with that. And there's nobody wins. Okay, nobody wins. That's the bottom line. If we get into a huge exchange with another superpower, nobody's winning that conflict. Nobody's winning that conflict, and so that's what I'm. Well, Andy says, can illegal immigrants get drafted? Well, I'll tell you what happens a lot of times, Andy. They tell the illegal immigrants, well, if you serve in the army, you can. It's a fast track to getting your green card. So, could the draft come back? I think that it could under the right circumstances, Brad. Honestly, I think that you could see that happening. Uh, it wouldn't surprise me, especially if things get more contentious and we get involved in stuff that we shouldn't be involved in, which we already are right now. But I wanted to go back and talk about this more, like with the whole, like Iraq, okay, or Afghanistan. We were in Afghanistan for 20 years, folks. We were in there for 20 years, and I'm sorry, uh, and it's just like Vietnam. Look how long and dragged out Vietnam was, right? Any of those kind of conflicts, because they're not wars; those are conflicts. The reality is this: if we wanted to win those conflicts, we could do so really, really quickly. We have the technology. Again, here's the line. Here's the line. Everybody on this side of the line is the good guys. Everybody on that side of the line is the bad guys. And you go in and you clean house. And guess what? You start at that line and you take care of everybody from that line forward. That war's over in a heartbeat. That war's over in a heartbeat because we have the technology, we have the manpower, we have the Navy, the air superiority, all those things. We should have wiped them out. Vietnam should have been over with in a heartbeat, but it's a money maker. That's what it comes down to. 20 years in Iraq, 20 years in Afghanistan. It's all about money, pumping that money into the war machine, right? Why would at one point, I believe we were spending like almost $1 billion a day. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong on that, uh, please let me know. But I believe at one point during the height of the war in Iraq, we were spending $1 billion a day. Now, here's a weird kind of concept that, I don't know if a lot of people think about. What if we used that money for good instead of killing? What happens then, right? Think about what we could accomplish, what we could do if you actually put that money and not giving it to this charity or that charity that's taking 70, 80, 90 cents on the dollar for administrative fees, but actually helping. Again, when you donate your money, guys, to causes, see how much of that money actually goes towards a cause. They said the March of Dimes is a good name, right? A March of Dimes is a good name because about a dime of every dollar that you send them goes for the cause. The rest is for administrative uh, stuff. It's ridiculous. Should never be that way. Should never be that way. Why do you think they call a war zone the theater of operations? Well, it makes sense. The United States defense direct spending on Iraq totals 757.8 billion. All right, thank you, Billy the Kid. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a lot of money that could have gone to a whole lot better things. Okay, you know, but ooh, he had weapons of mass destruction. Did they ever find any? I'm just curious. Did they ever find any? I don't recall. No, I don't recall they ever found any. Imagine that. So, it's just, yeah, pounding the air is great if you can direct it. When we went into Iraq, when we went back, excuse me, and we had this massive amount of troops on the border, and we did what, 41 or 42 days of airstrikes first, right? Shock and awe, right? Basically, and went in there and we destroyed all their infrastructure. We killed so many troops that way before we even rolled in. Before we even rolled in, uh, you know, we have that capability of doing that. So, guys in the jungle, hiding out in the jungle in tunnels, we couldn't defeat them. Bullcrap. I'm sorry. It's nonsense. We could have if we wanted to, but our soldiers half the time. Uh, and also, if you remember, the Vietnam War has never ended for most vets. I hear you. No, I hear you, South Florida DCL. I hear what you're saying, but just a shame. Just a shame. And all those young men and women that go and they become affected and they come back, and the ones that come back whole are never really whole, not mentally whole. It's a terrible thing. So, yeah, you can pull up what the CEOs of charities make. Exactly, Rhonda. Yep, and a lot of them are making way, way too much. So what do we got? 406 in the chat. We're at 270 on the thumbs up. We need 130 thumbs up to hit our goal of 400. So the true cost of the Iraq War, $3 trillion and beyond. Washington Post, September 5th of 2010. Wow, that doesn't surprise me. Again, if you have not shot that thumbs up, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we can have, the better. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So we're at 277 on the thumbs up. So we need 123 more. So again, let's keep them rolling. All right. All right. So what we're going to do now, because it is time, we're going to do egg count. So I'm going to let me just double check here because I have my information. All right. So yes or no, how many eggs starting now? Give you guys a moment to get your guesses up here. I'll give you guys a minute. Let's keep those thumbs up coming. The goal is 400, guys. 400 thumbs up. We need 107 more thumbs up. All right. If you had the same exact guess as Greg A, who I do believe is a first time winner, with 3 eggs today, and yes for Miss Thickneck, then you are 100% correct. They got to be going through some kind of a molting. That's the only thing I can think of why the egg count has been so low. And the fact that they didn't add any new chicks this year, I think that's part of it as well. But yeah, so that is. But so congratulations to Greg A. Yeah, I believe he is a first-time winner. So congratulations, Greg. Do you ever pickle eggs? I'm not real big into pickling eggs, so I have not. I have done. Now, some people do water glassing, with the eggs. Uh, no, it's not water glassing. I'm thinking of something else. They, but one of the things that I have done with eggs, you take the eggs that you just got out of your chicken coop. You don't wash them first, and you dip them in mineral oil. And then if you set them on a shelf, they'll last 6 months, no problems, no problems whatsoever. So, and I had to start feeding my ducks and chickens oatmeal earlier this year. Yeah, Becky's been giving the chickens oatmeal as well. Yep, she's definitely been doing that morning light. So, a water glass pickling lime is used. Okay, that's what. Yeah, well, it is called water glassing. Okay, I couldn't remember exactly. I've never done that part of it, but I have used the mineral oil, and it mimics the coating from the mother. And those eggs you can put, it's in a cool, dry place. Then did Becky change the chicken feed again? No, no. What had happened? She found out because she was spoiling the chickens too much that she was reading on it, and it says if the chickens are getting too much, they slow down on egg production. And she said, "Yeah, Ed, the chickens are all really fat." And I said, "Well, there you go." So, but yeah, it's just if you like I said, if you take that regular chicken egg and you dip it in mineral oil, and then, like I said, that'll last you 6 months sitting on a shelf, and you're going to be good to go, and you can use that. So when you get into the time of year where they're not laying as much, you could have a nice supply of eggs and do that. You can also coat the egg with butter, Tina said. Okay. Yep. So, but yeah, it's just different tastes for different people, and I get it, and that's perfectly fine. But like I said, for me, that's not really. I don't do the water glassing. But I want to, like I said, I want to encourage you guys to continue to prep and to continue to get ready. Um, I don't make predictions. I'm not going to say, well, we have this much time or we have that much time. Uh, you know, I think you can kind of tell with what we're doing down here and how things are amping up with what we're doing at our location. that we believe that time is of the essence, and I do believe that that is true. That whatever time we have, it's not time to dilly dally. It's time to get going and get squared away. And again, put yourself in the best positions that you possibly can, uh, to be prepared, to be ready. Because again, we just don't know. We just don't know. We don't know when something can happen. And you know, the most prepared prepper in the world, when that time comes, is going to be like, oh crap, I wish I had done this, or oh crap, I wish I had done that. Some people will be in much better shape than others, obviously. What we're trying to do down here is put ourselves in that one of those type of positions that we're going to be as ready, as much as we possibly can. That's what our goal is. Put ourselves in the best position that we can. How many cords of wood do you think you use in a winter in your new area? That I'm not 100% sure. Uh, you know, is Becky still curling? You mean Heather? I think you're talking about Heather, full of hope. Heather was she still has got the stone that you sent her. She still has that, but she's not in college anymore, and she's not living near the city of Rochester, and that's where the Rochester Curling Club is. So, but she still has a stone, and she still liked curling. Thank you again very much for the donation as well, and thank you for the question. But I know you meant that towards Heather and not Becky, so that's okay. Um, no, the winters are not as bad down here in West Virginia. It does get cold. This last winter, we had like one really bad cold streak that did not last that long, but it wasn't a horrible one. Obviously there's much more wood needed in New York to get through the winter. And, like one of the things I was telling Heather right now, she still needs to pick up another three face cord of wood. She's got plenty to get through the winter, I believe, because there was a lot of wood left over from last year that did not get used because they had a mild winter last year in New York. Uh, when I was up in May, I ended up getting three face cord of wood, or she paid for it. She bought the three face cord of wood, but then I was the one stacking it. So, and we got that squared away for them, for winter. So, and then Becky's got to get more wood come in, and it all depends. It all really depends. But she should be in pretty good shape as far as ready for winter with the wood production. Heather likes throwing axes. Yep, we've done that, and yep. Malachi's corner says I dehydrate my eggs. Nothing wrong with that. So Larry says, "Yep, I remember you playing Jenga." Yeah, it's an art with stacking wood. To be honest with you, you learn over time when you're stacking, trying to get all them in there in the right way so that it doesn't lean out and you got wood falling and all that type of stuff. So, but they'll be ready for winter as best that they can be, and I think that that is a good thing. And it's just going to take. How many boxes of cheeses do you need this winter? Yeah, right. Well, if you're eating a Mac, then probably a lot. So, but anyways, what are we at? 314. So we need 86 more, guys. 86 more thumbs up to hit our goal of 400 thumbs up for the stream. So let's keep those thumbs up coming. Let's get that number jacked up there, please. And I do appreciate that. But glad I prepped so many years before I got old. I've learned everything from Ed and Patera. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If I can help people out, that's like I said, my biggest satisfaction that I get out of doing what I do here is hope when people write me and say, because I listened to you and I prepped when this disaster came, we were ready and it wasn't as hard on us because of the preparedness that we had because of what you've said. And then when they say this on top of it, and we were able to help our neighbors, and that's what it's about. Putting yourself in a position not only to help yourself, but to help those that you care about and the people around you. That's huge. That's a huge thing. And I don't think a lot of people think about that as much, but it's not always about the end of the world. It's not. Uh, that could happen. I mean, let's be honest, that absolutely could happen. But the reality is, the most likely thing is you will be affected by a natural disaster more so than you would be by the end of the world. And it could be any number of things: fire, flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, ice storms, blizzards, you name it, it can happen. And, it's, those things happen all the time. Power outages, so you just never know. And to be in a position where you go, oh, okay, the power went out. You go over, you flip your switch for your transfer switch, or you have your own situation. Then are you expecting anything from Ophelia? I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know if we're going to get very much this far inland. It's just like whenever a hurricane, like when Hurricane Sandy hit New York, and people were said to me, "Oh my God, you're in New York, Yeah, but we're 400 miles away from New York City. I mean, so it's not like we're going, "Oh my God, we're really concerned." By the time anything that massive got into us, it's just strictly rain at that point. It's not dealing with anything, more severe from that point, at that point. But again, do the best you can. Prep, take care of your families, think about your kids. But uh, she will call out y'all. I don't know what you mean. Your opinion: getting a book on a solar system and book on root cellars. Honestly, Sean, I will tell you this: any books that you can get that can give you information that's going to help you, I don't ever see that as a bad thing. I do not see that as a bad thing. Uh, Knowledge is power. So getting the information. Like I said, I've always been the best learning that I've always been able to do is hands on. If I'm doing hands on learning, I've done really really well with that in my life. So that works for me. Now, not everybody is that way, but with having books, like I said, knowledge is power, and I would encourage all of you to get as much as you can in hardcover in preparation ahead of time. Gardening, composting, plumbing, carpentry, electrical, because you may not have people that are around you that have those skills. And to me, it's now I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very fortunate. We got a lot of guys that got a lot of different skills in this group, which I think is great. And some guys are better at this. Like I've never claimed to be a carpenter. Not going to ever claim to be a carpenter. But I have no problem getting in there, getting my hands dirty, and say, hey Ed, do this or do that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever you want me to do, I'm in. You know what I mean? So, um, did you know there was a hurricane on the coast of New York on 9/11? Uh, Not really. Nope, not really. But again, like I said, just continue to prepare, get ready, do the best that you possibly can, and you're going to put yourself in better situations when the time comes. And if the big event happens, whichever that big event may be, it's better to be one of the ones that is more prepared than somebody that's not prepared at all. Because when you have 95% of the population that is not prepared for a 2 week disaster, that's scary stuff, folks. That is scary. So it should scare the crap out of you, and really should motivate you to get yourself, rocking and rolling. Um, because that's just I don't ever want to be a victim. I don't want to be one of those people that what they had to endure in the Superdome in New Orleans. Remember that? I remember that. Remember the stories of what happened in the Superdome? I remember that as well. Okay. Um, I remember what the government did in that situation. I remember the government's response, in that situation. I remember what they did when they first went in there and they disarmed the citizenry. Okay, I remember all those things, and I never want to be in that situation. Never do. So, to me, the more prepared, the better off. And there we go. So, all right, we're at 369 in the chat. We're at 332, which means we need 68 more thumbs up to hit our goal. We did set a high goal of 400, but I think that we can do it. So we got about 20 minutes to go. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, please do so to show support for the channel. Thank you ahead of time. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So now we're at 340, so we need 60 more, guys. And again, when we hit the goal, then I shut up. I don't ask for any more after that. So, all right, so Heavenly Hills Homestead, new channel, growing giant vegetables, very cool. He just won some prizes with his pumpkin. It was over 1,000-pound pumpkin, so pretty cool. Really neat to see, and so definitely check that one out. We have Icky Can up in Canada, another good guy, very nice. Been living off grid almost as long as I have. You have Angry Prepper, that is Jason down in New York City. Definitely go show him some support. Again, a really good guy and very squared away individual. There is Alaska Prepper, that is Rudy. Rudy's a very nice guy, very down to earth, a lot of good information on his channel. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and my Self-Reliance, two different channels, same guy. Amazing to watch him with his building, living off grid and doing all that. It's amazing to watch, and he's really good at all of that. There is Demcad, another good channel, a lot of good information there. Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. There is Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast doing their thing out there. Really good what they're doing as well. Fun to watch. Let's see. Magic Prepper, North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, that is Cody. Great information on his channel. You can pick up a lot of tips there, so I definitely recommend him. Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at you out of Europe, letting you know what's going on over there. There is Kyle's Cabin. You have Kyle and Sierra doing their thing up in Minnesota. Nice young couple and definitely squared away. There is Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband-wife team doing their thing. They split their time between Michigan and Alaska. Again, a lot of good information with their channel, and they just show you how to do things. And it's just, just especially Bush Radical with his building skills, and he explains it out, and he tells you exactly what he's doing, and I think that's really cool. You have Green Greg's, another good channel, a lot of good information on growing with his channel as well. There is Southern Prepper 1, who does the Boots on the Ground series. Really like the information that he gives and that he shares. Very cool. So you have Gray Man Prepping. There's Doug and Stacy. They've been around for a long time. Very good information with their channel as well, so definitely check them out. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there living off grid, doing their thing down there and showing you how to do it. We have the Green Dream Project, which is out in Arizona. Really cool to watch their progress and and see what they're doing, showing you what it's like to live in the desert. There is Camping with Steve Wallace. You have he's up in Canada doing stealth camping. Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time. Really good channel. A lot of good information on her channel. Boss of the Swamp. Another guy who's so cool to watch him build and see what he does. It's very cool. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a very smart guy. A lot of good information, and definitely check him out. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Again, somebody who says it like it is. I like that. I respect that. So there is City Prepper. You have Lumina Acres. Suspicious Observer. You have Bear Independent. There is the Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News giving you all the latest information of what is going on with Yellowstone and all of that. So definitely check her out as well. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner, Ice Age Farmer. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy to get your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a good guy, uh, very passionate about the weather, and he gives back to the community in a huge way, and I respect that so much. Russell Brand gives you the information, and he lets you decide what you want to do with it. I like that as well. Deep South Homestead, a very family friendly oriented channel full of good information. You have The Outsider, there's The Fit Farmer, Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. You have Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s. Again, a lot of good information can be taken from that channel. You have The Prepared Mind, there's Pinball Preparedness, East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty. A lot of good channels out there, a lot of good information. I definitely believe that we should be supporting each other. You know, in the years I've been watching PN1, my husband left after 30 years. He didn't believe me. Now, yeah, I hear it full of hope. I'm sorry that he did that after 30 years. That's kind of crazy, and that's happened. That happens to a lot of people, unfortunately. But we should be supporting each other, and that's why I do the shout outs. That's why and I'll tell you what, most of the people that I shout outs before probably never heard of me, and that's not why I do it. I that there is a lot of good information that we can, looking at different people's perspectives, and I think that that's very cool. So we're at 354 on the thumbs up. So we need 46 more thumbs up, guys. I know you guys can do this. You got it in you. So let's hit that number. Goal is 400. So we're 46 away. Um, so again, if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. And I do appreciate that. And thank you ahead of time. Again, it really makes a huge, huge difference with the algorithms as well. The more interaction that we have on the channel, it's better for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. So, you know what? Going back to what I was talking about before, I don't make predictions of how much time I think we have. Uh, I honestly don't think we have a whole lot of time before these lunatics that are in charge get us into something that's going to cause a lot of great harm to this country. You can see it coming, with pushing and pushing and pushing and all those type of things. It is amazing to me how we're not already in some kind of conflict. To be honest with you, uh, we just all we can do again, and I will tell you this: control what you can control. Control what you can control. That's all. That's all you can do. And each day that we got is a bonus. And I'm a big believer in, like I said again, you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. I don't have a whole lot of faith in mankind, to be honest with you. I have zero faith in our government. That I don't have at all. They lost my trust and faith a long, long time ago. So, but if we can just keep persevering, slowly working towards our goals, like right now, okay, right now we have 3 buildings coming into the property. That's what we're up to right now. 3 new buildings coming into the property. Excuse me. God, that spaghetti was delicious too, by the way. And I just tasted it again, and it tasted just as good. Um, when those 3 buildings are on site, and the guys that own those buildings and ladies that own those buildings can get rocking on them and get them squared away and get them insulated, get a wood stove in there, get supplies on site. It just makes it better for everybody, because down here we're a family. we're a family down here. People may not understand it. They probably don't understand that. But like Dave said it the best, and I'll give Dave credit for this forever. He said, we were just a family that hadn't met yet. And I love that. I think that is awesome because it's true. I mean, here's all these people coming from all these different places in the country, and we've come together and we've bonded and we have a common goal and we see what we want to get done here and what we want to get accomplished. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing, amazing journey. And it tastes better the second time around, Angela. Yes, ma'am, it sure does. But again, you have to, you know, when you see the progress and you see things coming together and, the road work, I mean, the road work alone has been just, it's been insane. The amount that we've had to do with this road, but that's all part of it. That's all part of it. And, we're, like I said, every day, just making those strides, getting something squared away, getting something set up, and like I know, Sandy and her sister were down this weekend, and she brought her wood stove in for the tent. So now it'll be here and it'll be set up. And when she comes, moving forward as we're moving into the colder weather, she'll be able to stay warmer in that tent because of the wood stove. And it's yeah, building that foundation, Angela. That's exactly what it's all about in making sure that you can gel and mend and come together with those people. That's what it's about. In knowing that when the time comes, we're going to have each other's backs, and that's also important. So, but anyway, so we're at 363 on the thumbs up. So we need 37 more to hit our goal of 400. Ed, what are your short and long term goals? Let's see. Short term goals, we just basically a little bit more road work, short term goal. Got to get a couple more loads of gravel in here before the weather turns. Where he left off in the upper meadow, I want to get another load of crusher run and have him start there and go all the way as far as he can out of the meadow and down into the woods with that. If he does that, that would be great. I'd like to get one more load of number two stone and get that in here and and have it just sitting someplace staged where when we need to do any kind of road repairs from once the snow starts, or you figure December to April, any spots get weakened down or they need assistance, then we'll have that and we can go bam, here we are, that's done, and go from there. So those are the type of things that are short-term goals. Long-term goals, what I want to do underground is going to take years to accomplish, and I know that. I'm not delusional to think that that's going to happen overnight, but over time, we will have something amazing underground, a little city, if you will. And so that's kind of fun and that's kind of exciting as well. So, there's a lot. Greenhouses getting put in, huge gardens, getting the water situation completely squared away. There's a lot of goals, a lot of things that have to be done, you know, yeah, cleaned up the pavilion this weekend, cleaned the cook stoves, and we were working on that type of stuff this weekend. So, all right, let's what do we got? 368. So 32 more guys, 32 more thumbs up before we jump off if we can. Yes, I will do raised beds gardens again. I absolutely, yes. I will when we do the greenhouses beautiful day, the greenhouses will have raised bed gardens in the greenhouses. The soil here is crap. Fact. So we're going to have to work that and get that squared away and get composting going and all those type of things. So those are other goals that have to be done. But but yeah, it's just slow and steady. So we're 30 away now, guys. 30 away on the thumbs up. So keep them coming. We are legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. Where is everybody from tonight? So we need 30 more thumbs up. Uh, Troutman, North Carolina with Troy, Franklin County, Ohio. We have Dayton, Ohio with Rhonda. BC, Canada, with Janet in the house. Sean the Englishman in Chatham in Canada. Scott County, Virginia, with Midway Farms. Tucson, Arizona, with Angela. Ozark Hillbilly with Randall. Inverness, Florida, with Clyde in the house. Pennsyltucky Granny from the beautiful Pennsyltucky Wilds. Campbell, Missouri, with Antonio. Lana in East Central Illinois. We got Full of Hope from Ireland. We have Palatica, Idaho, with Janita. We got Nebraska's in the house. Morning Light in West Virginia. Afton, New York, with Andy. Cedar Creek, Ohio, with Mikey. Georgia, with Beautiful Day. BC, Canada, with Emil. Southeast Tennessee. Fort Payne, Alabama, with Carol and Rocky. Greenlee County, Arizona, with Codster. QC, Iowa. We have Groveland, Massachusetts in the house with Stephen. Dust Devil in Texas. Washington State with Stormweather. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. We got Penny in Maine. Blanche, North Carolina with Matt. Mary in Wyoming. Waterloo, New York with Sharon. Let's see. Gillum, United Kingdom with Chris. Thanks for staying up late, Chris, and joining us tonight. We got Don in Adams, Kentucky. Trenton, Florida. So again, guys, we're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make a difference after an event as well. I think it's really important that we try to do so. I really do. Um, we're the ones that are awake, not woke. We're awake. And, we see what's coming and we're preparing for what's coming. But there's a lot of people out there that are not. So the more that we can wake them up, the better that we're going to be. And then, hopefully be in a position where we can do something to help people afterwards. We got Brenda from New Hampshire. So Dale in West Central Ohio. So we're at 376. So we need 24 more thumbs up. Don't look like we're making the goal. Let's see how close we can get, though. Let's see how close we can get just for the fun of it. So we're close. I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Really appreciate you all, ladies and gentlemen, that moderate for me. It means a lot to me. I want to thank all you guys for being here, being part of the chat. It's a lot of fun. You guys ask great questions, and I think that is awesome. So just it all comes together that way. I try to get to as many questions as I can. So I do appreciate your guys' patience with a lot of doing that. Miss Molly's doing very well. No issues with her at all. Uh, but remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we are going to be in much, much better shape. Uh, we have to stop letting them divide us using race, religion, you know, um, political affiliation. It's all nonsense. It means nothing. So, but we're 383. 17 more, guys. Can we get 17 thumbs up before we jump off of here? Also, remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. How deep and long will the tunnel be? Very and very. How-to videos. At the end of the day, when we get done with what we want to do underground, it will be quite extensive. And again, that's going to be an ongoing project that's going to last a very long time. So we got Buffalo, New York with Joseph, Newfoundland, Canada with Mars in the house as well. Also, guys, like I said, last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, we got Village Homestead in central New York. Whatever you're trying to do, the only person that's going to stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be in such better shape. It's amazing. Stay the course, set realistic goals, and then set about to making them happen. And I'll tell you what, it is such a good feeling when you can say, okay, we got that knocked out, that's out of the way. We got that knocked out, that's out of the way. Huge, huge difference psychologically with everything. So very, very cool. to do all those type of things. So just keep staying the course. Stay away from negative people telling you what you can't accomplish. They don't mean anything. They're sad, lonely people that want to try to bring you down, and that's it. So we're at 388. So, well, we came close to 400. I guess I did too high of a goal for tonight, but that's all right. Still a fun chat, very close to the goal, and that's okay. Listen, folks, be safe. Keep prepping. Keep taking care of your business. I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.